You're listening to Counterclockwise, where we decide the best of unimportant categories, and sometimes we watch some not-so-great movies, and we spend way too long talking about them. Our two randos' opinions about some movie from 30 years ago. 35 years ago for this one.
Yeah.
35 this year.
It's as old as me.
Oh, yeah. A little bit older, about 8 months older than you. I think it came out in January. But how are you today?
I have breaking news.
Breaking.
I have been re-entered into my DraftKings account.
Did you actually have the bet that you thought you had?
I did not.
You had in past years. Of course, this was the year that you didn't. That's funny. For me, not you.
No, but I saw that I still have a bet that I placed last year with the Guardians winning the World Series this year.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll win big if they actually do.
Yeah, probably huge. Although, you probably should have placed the bet in, like, July.
Yeah.
That probably would have been significantly more favorable odds.
Well, I went through a lot of trouble to get unlocked, and for some reason they thought I was trying to log in on two different emails, which I wasn't. But anyways, I was able to get back in, and I got all excited, and then to see I had $35 in my account, I was like, well, I guess I didn't place the bet.
Yeah.
I really wish I would have.
That's funny, because I know you've done that before with different teams. You've done that with the Browns, too, I think.
Yeah.
When you said that, I'm like, oh, yeah, I feel like I remember you telling me you did that, too. But, yeah, it must not have. It must have been some other year.
So needless to say, I got in there, and I placed a lot of bets because I've missed a lot of time on my DraftKings account. I'm trying to make up for lost time, right?
Yeah. Any good ones that you won?
It's more for this Sunday, so...
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I kind of entered a bunch of free pools, and just made picks. So
yeah.
hopefully I strike on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
If I strike out on all of them and on a free bet, maybe that's the final kick I need to realize that sports betting isn't for me. Because if I can't win free shit, I need to call it. I just call it quits.
Yeah. I was never really good at it. I mean, a couple times I could make bets that I would win, but they were basically sure things and I wouldn't win very much. I'm like, this is pointless. Yeah. I'm sitting here like stressing out about this stuff. I'm betting like $2 on a minus 110 bet. I'm like, this is dumb. I'm about to make like 20 cents on this. I was never willing to risk the bigger ones or risk the more risky bets. So yeah,
that's what I like about the Fanatics one is you can acquire fan cash.
Yeah.
So then you can just risk your big ones on fan cash and hopefully hit big. But again, I never do.
Doesn't feel like real money.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's my boy math.
Yeah. Yeah. So today we're here on another Mediocre Movie Monday, number 3. Yeah, Jason Takes Manhattan, because that was like our first Halloween episode, so it was like middle October, I think. So we're gearing up. I thought this would be a good movie. We're doing Tremors, by the way. We didn't announce that. It's in the episode title, so you probably knew that already. But we're doing Tremors. I thought it would be a good one because it's we're kind of gearing up toward spooky season, so it's like a kind of a horror creature movie.
It's a good
but
primer.
It's also summery, so it's still kind of combines the summer feel with the spooky feel. So. Yeah, I think that's good. Anywho, the Graboid across the table from me is my favorite brother, Brandon Wise. I'm Tyler Wise. And up next, Can You Fly, You Sucker? Can You Fly? Tremors, coming up in about 23 seconds.
With Cheech and or Chong, with more to the front desk.
Oh, hi, Mark.
All the way to Flint. Goodbye.
Movie reference.
So I forgot to bring this up the other day. Actually, the last time I recorded. And it's been killing me not telling you this because it's such a fun story. But a few weeks ago. Actually, it was longer than that. It was right around the time we had all those random like celebrity deaths clumped together.
Oh, yeah.
So Trinity and I were sitting on the couch just watching TV, and out of nowhere, we just hear this loud thud on the kitchen window, the big kitchen window I got, right? And we're like, what the fuck was that? Here I am, because I have experience with this. I have experience with my next door neighbor knocking on my window to get my attention.
Yeah, the neighbor you do like odd jobs for.
Yeah. So it kind of freaked her out. Me, I was like, it's probably my neighbor.
It's probably her, yeah.
But I go out and there's nothing out there. I look on the ground and there's a hawk.
A hawk?
Just a hawk like standing. And he's like, you know how birds like hop?
Yeah, yeah.
He was like doing one of those. And I'm like, oh, dude, that bird must have just like slammed in the window and he's just like getting over his, CTE right now or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So I didn't think anything of it. Just thought a bird hit my window. And then she came out to come look. So now I literally turned my head for 5 seconds, come back to look, and he's not there. But I happen to look up in the tree out front, like in front of my neighbor's house.
Yeah.
That clear angle. This hawk has another bird in the branch ripping it to fucking shreds.
Oh, Jesus.
Like feathers just flying everywhere.
Oh, my God.
We could see him pulling intestines. Like carnivorous cannibalism. I don't even know what you would call it, but man, let me tell you, nature is metal. I have never seen anything like it. I was fascinated. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. And it was quite literally the day after Ozzy Osbourne died. And I'm like, you know me, not really a big believer in all the afterlife stuff, but if reincarnation is real,
that was Ozzy?
That was Ozzy all the way. And he blessed us in Tiffin, Ohio with his presence. Like, nature is so hardcore sometimes.
Yeah. Ozzy bit the bat and then reincarnated as a hawk to eat a little bird. Man, do you think the little bird was what hit the window?
That's what
was he chasing the bird?
I think he was chasing the bird, and they crashed or he like threw it against the window or something, and he was stalking. It was like the little bird was like recovering or whatever, and I think the hawk was like stalking him, and that's why he was staggering like he was. And then he finally picked him up, took him to the tree, and just went to town.
That's wild, like in town like that too. Yeah. You hardly ever see those in town. Usually they're when you see like a red tail hawk or something like that, they're usually on like a power line out in the country.
Man,
or something.
I'm telling you, the way he was picking apart the feathers, and then I just saw these entrails he's pulling. I'm like,
jeez,
oh my God,
like you're watching Planet Earth.
No, yeah, and I don't know why we had to leave that night, but we left to go to something, and she goes straight to the car. I immediately go straight to the scene of the crime, and it's dark. So I got a flashlight plus my phone flashlight. I got 2 flashlights, and I'm inspecting this branch that all this happened on, and feathers are all over the place, and I'm like trying to really like Criminal Minds this right now.
Yeah,
I'm like trying to get in the mind of this hawk, and there was blood on the branch, like dried up blood on the branch, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've seen in a long time. Like this is
that's wild.
Meanwhile, my girlfriend's like, will you get in the fucking car? Like she was over it. She was so over it. She thought it was cool when she's like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then she just walked away. And then I just couldn't take my eyes off of it. And she's like, you're like weirdly obsessed right now. And I'm like, I am. I will not even
analyzing
try.
the blood splatter patterns.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah. No, it was, it ruled.
Oh, arterial spray.
Yeah. It ruled so hard. Nature is metal. And that was Ozzy. I don't care. It was fantastic, man. Like, and I can't believe I didn't bring it up that last time we recorded. So, it's been killing me not telling you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to hold on to that story either. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen anything that visceral, I guess.
It was deliberate.
That's wild, yeah.
He came in there with bad intentions, and he completed his objective. It was wild, dude. Like
That's one of those where you really wish somebody had like a security camera or something on it.
Oh yeah,
That's wild.
so good.
Anyway, speaking of predators taking down smaller game, I don't know. Here we are.
That wasn't your best, but it wasn't your worst. I'll give you that.
Certainly wasn't my worst. We're talking about Tremors today. A little rumble in the ground.
Yeah,
Little what do you call that? What does she study? Seismology.
Seismology.
Little vibrations in the ground. Is that what I said earlier? Little rumbling. Did I say rumbling?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Roll the tape.
Nailed it.
Yeah. There it goes. Well, that's a nice little big chair on the TV I just saw. That was cool. Is that inflatable? You remember that? Do you remember that?
Immediately distracted.
Yeah, no. Do you remember when I was a kid, I had that, it was an inflatable thinking chair from Blue's Clues?
I sure did. I thought
awesome.
I thought that's where you were going with this.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what that reminded me of. Was that inflatable? It looked like
Yeah.
it was inflatable
Yeah.
on the TV there.
As we watch a 63-0 Ohio State victory right now.
Yes, and we're still distracted by it somehow. Like, that's still interesting. But anyway, we're here to talk about the 1990 American classic, Tremors, which, to be honest, this movie is so much better than I remember it being.
Yeah.
This will probably be the best movie
We
do on Mediocre Movie Monday because, honestly, yeah, I forgot that it was this good. I used to see it on TV a lot. Usually it was AMC, the AMC Fear Fest.
Yeah.
They play all of them. And I think that might be my issue, is I've seen Tremors a couple of times, but I think I was maybe conflating it with all of the sequels that are not nearly as good. And they're all kind of, they're all very similar. They're set in the same kind of setting. Third or fourth one is when it's back in time. It's like the formation of perfection.
I think it's
Nevada.
like Tremors 3, the beginning or something like that. Yeah.
So that one's kind of fun. It's not good, but it's fun to kind of go back in time because it's Michael Gross's character.
I was going to say, I love that Michael Gross just embraced this character, and he's in all of them.
He's
Even in the 2020 version.
He's like a secondary character in this one, and then he becomes the through line into all of them. But anyway, let's get some vital statistics here.
Real quick, I've never seen any of the sequels. Do they explain why Reba's not in them?
Yeah, I think in the second one, he says that they got divorced or something.
Oh, a little too crazy for her?
Yeah, and he's kind of like bitter about it. It's been a while since I saw it, but I think that's the explanation.
Gotcha.
He says they recently got divorced. But yeah, the real story is that Reba got exponentially more famous since the first one. So hiring Reba to be in your movie probably would have doubled the budget, if not tripled it. So yeah, let's maybe skip Reba on this one. But yeah, let's get some vitals here. Tremors, hour 36 runtime. Perfect. Great. In and out. Let's go.
Although when I was doing my notes, it took me a solid 2.5 hours to finish it.
Yeah, me too. A PG-13 rating.
It originally had an
standard.
R rating though.
Yeah, and they changed it. But I think mostly it was just like language they had to change.
There were like 20 F-bombs in the movie.
Yeah.
And they edited it out so there's only 2.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them you can tell. They just dubbed over.
Yeah.
It's so, the Mother Humper one.
Humpers.
Oh my God.
And the line I did at the top, can you fly, suckers? It's like, definitely like, if you say that, can you fly, fucker? Like that's definitely flows better. Definitely sounds a little better, but I think it still works. I think it adds to the humor too. It's like watching a movie on cable or something where they dub everything. But when they actually redub it with like a goofy version of whatever, it's actually pretty funny. So
you can make
that's
it,
what this reminded me of.
In this kind of movie, you can make it work.
Yeah.
You make it work with the goofiness.
Especially because these characters are just kind of weird and they're kind of funny in their own kind of way, and they're kind of weird. So it does make it almost matches their character for them to use those words. Filmed in California, couple of small places in California. Released like I said, January 1990.
I read they had to build a lot of the rocks into the movie.
Oh,
I mean, we can get into it, but like the pole vaulting scene, none of the rocks were that close together, so they had to build rocks to make the scene work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Directed by Ron Underwood, who I was going to look this up and I forgot. He's directed some other good stuff. City Slickers. That's the one I know. You remember Mighty? whatever that was that I just tried to say.
Mighty Moo.
You remember Mighty Joe Young?
I love that movie.
I don't remember much of it. I remember the big gorilla climbing the Ferris wheel at the end. That's all I really remember of that movie. But that was part of the deep dive that I did that added like a half an hour to my watch earlier this week. But anyway, had a budget of $6 million, ultimately grossed $16 million. So made a decent profit. $6 million makes sense for this movie, which honestly, pretty good for $6 million. Like that's not a big budget.
To almost double your budget. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I just mean like what they came up with or how the movie looked for $6 million. That's pretty good. I mean, they didn't really have any big stars that were drawing a ton of salary.
A lot of the special effects, other than the Tremors, were cleverly done. Like I read that they filmed the scenes where the Graboids are underground, but like the dirt, it's like the gopher trail. The way they did that.
Oh yeah, they still like the worm's POV.
Yeah. They had a truck pulling like a boat buoy, like under the ground, and that's what gave it.
You mean like from above ground where they see
yeah.
like the Bugs Bunny going. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple shots where it looks like it's like the camera's
like a POV
underground. Yeah. I thought that's what you meant, but yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you got to be kind of clever with some of that stuff. I honestly I didn't realize that it was even a success at all. I would consider that a success, grossing 16 on a $6 million budget. I mean, it's not like a huge success, but they made a profit. It wasn't a bomb. I mean, there's a reason they made, 6 sequels? And then a series? Or no, they were going to do a series, I think. But yeah, I think that got canned. But anyway, 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. Again, far better than I thought it would be. And a 76% audience score. I'm surprised that a critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes is higher than the audience score. That seems kind of surprising.
I was surprised it was a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb because normally the people that rate on IMDb are so picky about everything that I figured they would have rated this like a 5 and like really criticized it because on the like nuances of monster movies, like you know how those people are, but like
Roger Ebert said he liked it enough to recommend it, just barely. And describe it as a goofy, dumb, fun movie, which is exactly what it is.
Gotta add the just barely into
it. Which is, honestly, that's fair for like a movie critic or a film critic. Yeah.
To get that from Ebert, man, that's pretty good.
Gene Siskel didn't like it at first, gave it a negative review. 2 years later, he reevaluated and said, this picture has grown on me. I think it's worth a second viewing. There's a spirit of good fun there, which... Honestly, that's an even more fair take that it kind of grows on you.
It does.
I think that was my experience. I watched it and I was like, this is just like kind of a cheesy, shitty creature movie. Like, and then the more you watch it, it's like, yeah, that movie was a lot better than I think it seems on the surface.
I remember my first time watching, I'm like, this stupid.
Yeah.
Which it still is.
Seem kind of
like,
dumb, yeah.
But the second time, I'm like, okay, I watched it this morning. That was my second rewatch. And I'm like, I'm just having fun with this, man. This is pretty fun. This is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's just a fun romp of a movie.
Fun romp.
So yeah, we got some. Here's this. This is Computer Says here. This is again our fun facts that that the computer told me were true. So blame the computer. Computer Says the creature for Tremors was designed by Amalgamatum. Whatever it was, not that. Whatever I just said. It was made by Amalgamated Dynamic.
I think you just created a Pokemon.
Dynamic. Yeah.
Amalgamatum.
Amalgamum. Amalgamated.
Amalgamatum. I choose you.
It's just like 4 heads like smashed together. Amalgamated Dynamics. There we go. When they dig up the first one that kills itself by slamming into the wall. That was about the only one where they have like the full body of it. The rest of them is basically just the head at the end. They had to cast the whole thing in foam, so they have like the full dimensions of what these worms look like and everything. But I found this drawing online where somebody did like the anatomy of a graboid, where it has like the like a cross section almost. It's like here's the little hair leg thingies that it crawls with, and this is this is like its acid chamber or whatever bullshit. And yeah, interesting. I don't think it's canon, but I think it was just somebody put online. But I thought it was pretty cool. The town, which you mentioned, was entirely a set, which it looks pretty good because you got to make it like old and run down, which I guess is probably easier, but it seems like, I don't know, it seems like that would be a little complicated to make something that doesn't look like it's brand new that you built from scratch. But the mountains in the back are the Sierra Nevada. Anything else you want to mention before we get into our little...
Yeah, I just had some general notes on the movie, just things I thought was thinking out loud as I was watching it. Fred Ward is like absolutely yoked in this movie.
He really is, yeah.
Like
he looks that's exactly what I would expect to see from like a desert handyman.
1990 Fred Ward, like he might be on my list. He's yoked, man. He did not skip any day.
Have you seen him in the sequel? Have you seen him in the second one?
I knew that. I mean, I read about it. Like I said, I haven't seen any sequels.
Did you like look up? Did you see like a photo or anything? Because his hair's a little bit longer. He's got like a, I don't know. It's like maybe not quite shoulder length, but he's got like a bit of a mane going in the second one. I think he might have a little bit of scruff too going. They made him look a little
rougher,
a little better. I think, or not necessarily better, but like a little more
rugged, a little more rugged.
Yeah. Yeah. Might want to check that one out. The second one, I don't remember it being that bad. It's the rest of them that I think are like.
I have a couple Reba comments.
Yeah.
Reba's hair is absolutely wild in this movie.
Yeah.
The way, and then the way it blows in the wind, it makes it even like 10 times funnier. Also, watching Reba McEntire fire a machine gun is objectively hilarious.
Oh, I know. What about when she's got like the double pistols that she's firing at the one that crashes through the wall?
Yeah, no, they could not have picked a better person to play that.
I know. And it's so much better that she got like tremendously famous after this too.
Yeah.
Like if she was just like, a casual country star, like she was at the time, like that's one thing. And then like the fact that she's on like The Voice now and she's in like 14 different commercials on TV.
Well, I read that the director didn't want her because he was tired of the trope where movies rely on celebrities.
Oh, yeah.
Like non-acting celebrities or whatever. Yeah. To star in movies, but I don't know who convinced him, but he was like, oh my God, I was dead wrong. This is amazing. Which she was right. It was a good call.
Yeah,
like
she's great.
She is throwing 100 this whole movie and it's perfect.
And it's really good because like she's got to be like 60% badass, 40% able to deal with a guy who's like a crazy also badass. She's gotta be able to reel him in. She's gotta keep him grounded a little bit. Because he's like 60% badass, 40% like insane, like office rocker. She's got to be like the one to rein, like you said, rein him in.
Yeah. She supports his dream of being a doomsday prepper, but she's also like, we're gonna tone it down a little bit. We're not gonna be so loud about it, even though he is very, very annoying about it in the beginning of the movie. But
I like when he's arguing with Val and Bert toward the end when they're like stranded on that rock.
Well, Bert
they're trying to figure out.
Bert is the guy's name that we're talking about.
Oh yeah, who's
Val and Earl?
Earl. Yeah, for some reason I always get those two mixed up. Earl. And yeah, so he's arguing with those two about whatever the plan is, and they're just like basically a dick swinging contest. And she like pulls Bert away, and she's like, yeah, I know he thinks he knows everything. She's just like calming him down. It's like that's like perfect, and with her accent too, it's like oh sugar, come on, oh bless their hearts, like just about perfect in that role. Anything else? Any other?
One more thing. Did you notice they're in the beginning of the movie and then everything happens and they leave town for some reason? I can't remember why they would leave town. Maybe to get help they leave town, but they don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to leave town at the beginning because they want to get out of town. They want to go to a bigger town. I'm
talking about Bert and Heather.
Oh, okay.
They're in the general store, and then they leave town, and I don't remember why. I think they were going to Bixby for some reason.
Oh, they leave at one point to go, once people start showing up dead, they go to find the grad student seismologist person because she's out by herself. So they're going out to find her.
That's right. Then they come back. Did you notice they come back and you see the front of their car? There's sort of like a military theme kind of music playing. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was very like on the nose or like very just like it's fitting because it's like they're the military people of that town, basically.
Yeah.
It's a small, subtle little thing, but I picked up on it right away.
It's like drums and horns or something.
Yeah, it's
like a bugle playing.
It's
almost.
like they created their own quote unquote military theme,
they're
so
like
they didn't copyright anything or whatever.
Gotcha,
but
yeah. like they're almost like they're the militia of this.
Yeah, it's like
population. What I wrote down the population on the sign. What was it? 14. 14. They're the 1/7 of the town, and they're basically the militia of the. Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's funny. We mentioned the seismologist. What is her name? I can't remember her. Rhonda. That's right. First time I watched this, I thought that was Andrea from The Walking Dead. I was like, shit, is that her? Because like when you first see her, she's got like that whatever shit on her nose, the sunscreen, zinc, I think it's zinc something. So you can't quite tell. And also she's younger. So I'm like, oh, maybe she like wasn't dyeing her hair as much, or like their hair was just darker when she was younger. It's like, I feel like that's her. And it was not her. But at first I definitely thought it was. So anything else before we get into it?
Computer says. Computer says. Isn't that what we were getting into?
No, I already did that.
Oh. Okay. What I was talking about was just some general notes I took. I'm sure you read this, but like I guess Kevin Bacon just really hated this movie when it first came out because he was like in a really dark phase of his life. But then he came to appreciate it and realized that this was like one of the movies that helped jumpstart his career.
Yeah, because his career, he had a weird career. He was like a young kid, not necessarily like a child star, but he was like a young actor, and he was kind of a big name, obviously Footloose and a couple other things around the same time. And then
Friday the 13th randomly.
Yeah, that too. So I don't know if he just kind of got pigeonholed as that, just like the teenage guy, and then like he wasn't going to do anything else. Or nobody wanted him for anything else, and he realized, or he kept trying to get leading man parts, and he couldn't get any of those, or not any good ones. So then he kind of like fell off the map for a while, and then he kind of rebranded as a character actor in the 90s. But that was after this movie. But this is clearly like this falls in with that. But that was kind of before he kind of realized that was his trajectory that he needed to go to.
Yeah.
So I imagine it probably was kind of a harsh moment where he's producing a bunch of shit, but it's not anything good, and he's not really leading anything, and and this is just like, you think it's just some shitty B movie. But then it's like beloved by a ton of people. It's like too big to even be a cult film.
Yeah,
because he wanted to do a series. He wanted to make a series because he never did any of the other sequels. But later, like just like 6 or 7 years ago, they were going to make a new series, I think, based on Tremors, and I think it was going to kind of go back, bring it back a lot of the old cast, or as much as they could, I think, and be like, these old men going back to perfection, fighting new graboids or whatever. And I guess it never got greenlit, but I certainly would have watched that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
this is definitely gonna be one of those. I'm gonna eventually watch all the sequels just because.
Yeah.
Just because I have to.
Yeah, I mean, one of them was not that long ago. Yeah, there was one in 2020, 2018, 2015. I mean, they paused for a while, but yeah, the first one was 90, 96, 01, 04, and then they stopped for a while, and then 15, 18, 2020. Oh, and then there was a series. There was like I think it was like a one season maybe in 2003. But I think that one was pretty terrible. I don't think I watched it, but I thought that's what I heard. Anyway, any other fun facts? Any other computer says?
No.
Alrighty. You got any beefs with this movie? To explain what beefs are, this is more like big picture stuff. Not really nitpicking the plot so much, because these are usually not the greatest movies.
I have a couple, and I know it was 1990, and this is how movies were made, and this is how times were. I get all that. I've taken all that into account. That still doesn't make it right. Their treatment of Rhonda's not that great.
Yeah.
Because early on, actually not early on, it was like right when they discover these graboids, right? They discover them. Earl and Val, they're all those three are all like, yeah, this happened. They're trying to explain it, and then like she's trying to explain. They go off of vibration and movement, and all the townspeople are like getting on her because she doesn't know exactly why they're attacking, how they're attacking, and he uses the line, "Well, aren't you a scientist?" It made my skin crawl.
Yeah, like, well, you're the expert.
35 years later, and people are still say this. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, she's a scientist. She's a seismologist. That doesn't mean she can explain everything.
Yeah, she's not. She's a seismologist. She studies vibrations and she studies earthquakes, not random creatures that nobody's ever seen ever in the history of mankind. We've never seen this fucking thing. Oh yeah, the scientist will know what to do.
Also, grad student or not, what kind of fucking professor leaves their student in the middle of the desert by themselves to do research?
Sounds like it's a pretty normal thing because there was another student there before.
Right. Like, that seems very dangerous and very like, and I'm not accusing the town of being any certain way, but in a small town like that, out in the middle of nowhere, let's be very real with ourselves for a minute here. Yeah. Like, let's not sit here and pretend like something couldn't happen and there would be no trace.
Yeah. Maybe the professor knows some people, knows the town, knows that they're all, fairly decent people. They're good folk.
Maybe it's secretly the guy that owns a general store.
What was his name?
Walter or something.
Is it Chang?
Walter Chang, I think.
Yeah. I forgot he died.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched it. I'm like, oh man. For some reason I thought I remembered him at the end. I forgot he gets
if they would have just
gobbled up.
If they would have just fixed that cooler early in the movie, that he wouldn't have died.
Yeah. It's all Earl's fault. He didn't want to put it in. Sneak it into their schedule.
That's one of my favorite lines in the movie. I don't know if we're doing that, but I'm gonna just do it now. One of my favorite lines in the movie is after he had asked to fix it.
Yeah.
Earl said,
I wrote this one down too.
Earl said he can't do it, and then Val's like, "See, we plan ahead. That way we don't have to do anything right now." Earl explained it to me.
Yeah, I thought that was good, especially because they had that whole conversation in the truck earlier about it. Like there was like a whole 6-minute scene about it, and then he's just going to use it to his advantage.
See, you're only thinking about Monday. I'm thinking about Wednesday already.
Yeah, is today Monday? Yeah. So, I do think they handled it pretty well for being 1990. Going back to the Rhonda stuff, because I think a lot of that. They kind of make a joke of it, like when they're stuck on the rocks before they have to pull Vault off of them. They have that whole thing where they're not listening to her and she comes up with the plan and she just has to do it.
Yeah.
And then they get kind of, or at least Earl gets excited. He's like, "Wow, she's pretty cool," or whatever.
And he's like, "But what Tammy the
Tammy Ray?
Does she know how to do that?"
Yeah. Yeah. They're just talking over her, like completely ignoring her, and then she's just like, "Oh yeah, I figured out a plan while you guys were, having a pissing contest over there." So I do think they handled it pretty well for the 90s, but there's some parts where it's like, okay, it's a little heavy-handed where they're not quite self-aware enough. But again, yeah, like you said, 25 years ago.
You're right, though. For 1990,
with the townsfolk stuff, I think that's the intention, is that these guys are supposed to be kind of ignorant.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's kind of a doofus, and then he ends up getting himself killed by. He's like, "Oh, let me hop in this giant tractor tire with a big ass hole in the middle. Yeah. That'll protect me from these worms that come out of the ground." This one that just broke through the freaking wooden floor in there.
Yeah, his death I wasn't sad about because he deserved it.
He got sucked down in there like he was like a meatball in a spaghetti.
He was like literally just like a turd. That was like a turd.
He got flushed down.
He literally got
tractor
flushed
tire.
Out. Yeah, like he deserved that death. He was an ignorant dickhead for no reason.
Yeah.
That
guy was freaking goofy too.
Like he was like mad at them that these things existed and was like,
I don't know why was he so pissed off. Like he was the one. Yeah. You're the expert. Aren't you supposed to be a scientist? I did like that too. I wrote that down. I took a note on that. I like that they do kind of subvert the scientist trope where you have like whoever like the expert is. It's usually some sort of scientist or whatever. He just like starts coming up with answers for everything. He has some sort of somehow this guy has expertise that is not in his wheelhouse at all. Like we were saying, she's a seismologist. Somehow she has like a biology degree too, so she can figure this thing out. Well, no, that doesn't happen in this movie. She's like pretty clear, like, I don't know what the fuck these things are.
And I think it's a good, it's attention to detail too, because again, she's still a student.
Yeah, that too.
So she wouldn't know necessarily, and I'm not saying a professor would know either, obviously, but like,
she even less so than somebody.
If a grad student was like
been in their field for 2 decades.
Yeah, if a grad student just explained everything away, it was like, this doesn't make sense.
Like, she's smart. She's smart enough to be a graduate in a seismology program, but she's not like an expert on these creatures that have never been seen before.
Yeah.
So I thought they handled that pretty well. They avoid that and they make it pretty clear. They make it almost a joke, almost like they're kind of poking fun at a lot of that stuff from the past. So I thought that was pretty good. My only beef. So this kid Melvin.
Yeah.
I just realized we never explained the plot of this movie. We can maybe do it briefly after I say this, but
who's Melvin? You mean Pizza Face? I love that's the first.
That's the first introduction to him.
What's up, Pizza Face? No wonder he's such a dickhead.
Yeah,
I would be too.
Yeah, but what do you think? He's like 14, maybe something like that.
Yeah,
and he's just the worst, snottiest, douchiest little turd kid that's ever been in a movie. He might be like the worst kid in any type of these like creature feature horror / whatever movies you want to call it. I don't know. I just hated this kid. Like make him have like diarrhea or something. That was my beef. This is my beef. He's too annoying to not be killed off, but he's too young to kill. Like, I don't want to see this 14-year-old get gobbled up by a sandworm, but he's such a terrible, annoying, bratty little turd kid that I just don't ever want to see him on screen anymore. It'd be satisfying for him to be one of the victims, but he's like, make him like 19 and then I don't feel as bad, like rooting for his death.
Make him like legal age.
Yeah. There's a reason teenagers are always in slasher movies, because if you make them any younger than that, we feel bad about them getting killed. But like once they get to like 17, then we don't feel as bad about them for some reason. I don't know why, but that's a question for a psychologist. I think maybe we should ask Rhonda. She'd probably be an expert in psychology too, according to these townsfolk. But yeah, so that was really my only beef with the movie is like you kind of missed it with either make him slightly less annoying, like give him any kind of redeeming quality at all. Or
take some of his lines and his screen time and give it to the little girl doing the pogo stick. Yeah. I wanted to know more.
By the way,
I wanted to know more about the pogo stick lore, honestly.
Yeah. Because like they mentioned that earlier.
That was
she's like working on a record.
Yeah, she's like at 600 or something. Like I'm like, dude, that is like impressive.
And she's got enough focus to keep count while she's saying how many she's on.
Yeah.
As they're just like asking her as she's hopping by.
More time on that, less on Pizza Face.
Yeah. She's the girl from Jurassic Park. Did you notice that?
Now that you say that, I can see that now.
Yeah. Huh. I didn't realize that. I never noticed that until this most recent viewing. I was like, she looks familiar. And then I Googled it. Yeah, that's her. Jesus. So that's funny. And what's funny is, I don't know this, but in my head, I didn't confirm this by looking up a screenshot, but I feel like her mom is dressed like she is in Jurassic Park. She's wearing like overalls, and she's got like kind of bangs too, and like the way her hair is like there was a shot toward the end of the movie, like from a distance, where like the townsfolk are kind of like maybe it might be when they're standing on the rock in the final, like the climax scene. And you kind of see her from a distance, so you can't see her face with detail. And I'm like, she looks like the girl from Jurassic Park, but that's the mom. And then the little girl sitting next to her.
Maybe that's why they dressed her the way she did in Jurassic Park.
Maybe it was an homage.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going to do like a speed round of a plot summary here before
Go for it.
Our two main characters, we got Earl and Val.
Valentine
McKee. Heck of a name.
Yeah.
Great. A+ there. Played by Kevin Bacon. And Earl Bassett, played by Fred Ward. So we start out with those two. They are handymen in this town of Perfection. It's Nevada? I think it's Nevada. Perfection, Nevada. Just this desert town, population 14. We see that pretty quick in the movie. And they just do like odd jobs for people. And their goal is they want to get out of the town. They want to move to a bigger city with a population of probably like 2,000. But they want to like progress with their lives, get, bigger, better things, whatever. We immediately get their kind of friendly dynamic, which is just, it's almost like brothers, where they're just like constantly picking and bickering with each other and just like pissing each other off. I did like, I had to write this down. They, whenever they have some sort of like thing where one of them has to do something and they don't want to do it.
And they don't do shoot.
They rock, paper, scissors. They do, well, they don't say anything, but they do it on 3. They do 3 pumps on the rock, paper, scissors, which is always my thing. I never like the shoot.
I thought
rock,
of you
paper,
when
scissors,
I thought of you when they did that. I'm like, oh,
yes.
they
no
don't
shoot.
Even,
you just do 3. Perfect. And I was like, yes, I had to highlight it. That was my second note that I wrote down. My first note, I forgot to mention, Kevin Bacon, is he the best person for the shit-eating grin?
Oh, 100%.
Because that's like the first thing we see. It's like sunrise, because I think it's first thing in the morning. Does this whole movie take place in one day?
No.
Oh yeah,
because
that's right. Because the doctor gets killed at night. That's right.
And they have a night where they sleep on the rocks. So it's like I
think that might be the same night where the doctor gets killed, right? Or maybe not. Maybe
I don't think so.
Maybe that's the night before.
I thought the night they slept on the rocks came after.
Yeah, you might be
because they
right.
discover the doctor nights, and then they go out.
Yeah, I think you're right. By the way, where is she staying at night? Does she have like a trailer? Or does she sleep in the truck?
That was one of my nitpicks. It was like, where's this student staying? And what college is she going to?
Well, yeah, because it's got an open bed in the back, too. Where the hell is she staying?
Yeah.
Huh. Because they have to like go out and find her. We're like, where was she? Because multiple people were killed. And then there was like overnight. And then, so if she was coming back into town to stay somewhere, you'd think somebody would have told her then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. I just happened to think of that. Where was she supposed to stay? I was thinking, well, maybe she had like a covered bed on the truck and she slept in there, but it was like an open bed when they jump into it later. Anyway, doesn't matter. So we start out with Val and Earl, and who's the first person that gets killed by these things? Is it?
It's the farmer, right?
Is it?
No. They discover that drunk. That's
the guy
on the tower.
up in the electrical wire. Yeah. So there's like an electrical power line tower thingy, whatever you call that thing. And they see this, he's kind of like the town drunk. They see him up there. Oh, this is the first time they try to leave. They decide we're leaving town. We're going to go to this bigger town. It's like the next town over, but it's a ways away. It's like
they try
40,
to get
40
gilded
miles or
into
whatever.
staying. And
yeah. And they're like, no, we see a lot of the townsfolk kind of in the meantime. And they decide they're going to leave town. So they pack up everything in the truck and try to take off. And then they see this, basically it's the town drunk. And they see him climbed up at the top of this tower. And he's just sitting up there, and they rock, paper, scissors to decide who's going to go up and drag his ass back down. And then they realize he's dead. They take him to the doctor. Doctor says he died of dehydration. They're like, what? That takes multiple days. And he's like, yep. And they're like, why would he just stay up there and die of thirst? And they're like, I don't know. Seems pretty weird. Uh-oh. And then as we go forward, then I think the next one is the farmer, right? The sheep farmer.
Yes.
So they're trying to leave again, and they come across another guy they know. Again, population 14, so they know everybody. And there's a sheep farmer, which I really liked this one. I thought this was well done. The sheep are going crazy. He's like, what the hell's going on with the sheep over there? They're just like bleating and all like herding around in their little pen. And then he gets like sucked into the ground. Again, like a penne noodle. And then his hat is just left sitting on the ground. And then, all the sheep get slaughtered too but we don't see that. It's off screen. Earl and Val show up. They see all the sheep are slaughtered. Like, what the hell? They try to find the farmer guy. They see his hat. They're like, what the hell? They pick up the hat. Huge jump scare because his face is just sitting there still. The worm left a part of his body left, and is the most important part.
That was one of my laugh out loud moments was Old Man Fred's head.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's supposed to be a jump scare and a serious moment, but I just laughed so hard when that happened.
Yeah, it was definitely surprising. It reminded me of in Jaws when he's like scuba diving at that one boat wreck, and then that floating like head comes into the hole that he's looking into. And there's just like his head, it's a big jump scare. It's pretty scary scene. You remember that scene? Underwater. Pretty wild. Anyway, I'm trying to do this as a speed round. It's not working.
That's why I'm not trying to interrupt.
Yeah. So that's the second one. They're like, what the hell's going on? They think it's a serial killer. There's these people that are working on the road, these two workers that are jackhammering the road. And they warn them. They ride by and they're like, there's a serial killer on the loose. You got to get the hell out of here. And then they ride back into town to warn people. And the construction workers are like, they're pulling our chain. And then the one Graboid somehow grabs the, he picks
a new spot and
he stabs it.
He pierces the thing and
it
starts bleeding everywhere.
This goo comes up and he's like, what the hell? And then the worm takes off with the thing like in its head apparently, or in its body, takes off, and he starts dragging this guy behind it because like the hose to the jackhammer wraps around his leg, and then is he the one that gets crushed by the stone, by the rock?
No, that's the second worker,
the other guy, but this guy gets like eaten, right?
Yeah, he gets
eaten,
dragged,
and then the other guy goes to help him, and then these rocks like fall down on him and smush him. So they're gone.
Those rocks had a number on that dude too.
Yeah. But that's another key thing because those rocks fall and they go into the road, and it's the only road in and out of town. So now the rest of the town is kind of stranded there. That's part of it because they're surrounded by mountains, and then that's the only road in. So they can't get out and get help. And then some other things happen. Basically, they go into town. They, see that the construction workers have been killed. By the time they get back into town, they look under the truck. Oh, there's this weird like worm thing, and you think that's the Graboid or like a baby one or something. Turns out it's his tongue,
and it's big enough to where it could be the one that's killing everybody.
Yeah, so they think that may be it, and then they realize later that that's not the case. But everybody in the town's trying to figure out what to do. Val and Earl take some horses out to try to ride.
They're trying to go to Bixby.
Yeah, and then there's they see some worms, some more of these big worm thingies under the ground. One of them attacks the horse that Earl's on, and it bucks him off. And then they're trying to run away from this thing, but it's under the ground chasing him. And then they jump into like a dam or whatever. It's concrete ditch thing. And then the worm slams into the wall and fucks himself up. The worm dies. And that's when they kind of figure out what the fuck these things are, that they're humongous. Oh, I forgot to mention the seismologist person. We meet her earlier. She's a grad student, as we mentioned, studying vibrations in the ground, and she's been seeing the worms doing all this stuff. Some carnage happens. They're trying to figure out what's going on. They realize that there's was it 4 of them? I think there's 4 total worms. Yeah. And they all get back into town. Bert, who is Michael Gross, the dad from Family Ties. Odd casting on their part, but it works because he's great in this role. And Reba, they're a husband and wife. They're like doomsday preppers. They have this like bunker that they live in. They want to be secluded away from the government, off the grid, those types. Tons of guns and ammo. He has a cannon. He mentions that at one point. He's got a cannon.
Real quick. Bert and Heather, they definitely stormed the Capitol, right? They definitely were in D.C. on January 6, 2020. They definitely stormed the Capitol, right?
I think they're so far off the grid that they don't care so much about the government.
Yeah, but the thought of overthrowing the government, that's right up his wheelhouse. Maybe
post-divorce.
I would say that maybe that's why he got divorced, but that was way after.
Post-divorce. I don't know. I feel like they would definitely, if they had to choose, they would definitely be Trumpers over anybody else. But I feel like they just don't trust anybody. They're like, fuck everything. Why would I need to storm the Capitol? They don't rule me anyway. He's like what do they call those? Like a sovereign citizen. You ever heard of those people?
Oh, yeah.
They're just like, I'm just my own thing. The government doesn't rule me. I'm just my own entity. That's not a thing. He seems more like one of those people. I don't know. That's pretty funny. I think they definitely fall in that crowd, though.
I think he did.
What's funny is that while he was filming one of the sequels, he was like, because he's definitely the type of person that, like you said, we think he probably would have been the type to storm the castle is what I was going to say, storm the Capitol. But I guess he was tweeting. I think it was during the movie the one that came out in 2015 maybe, where he was just like while he was filming the movie, he's like portraying this character that is the way that we just said, but also he's tweeting about like whatever, like filming yada yada yada. By the way, fuck Donald Trump. So yeah, it's funny that his actual personality is like completely the other side. But anyway, they end up back at their house with their like bunker with all their guns, trying to load up on stuff. The worms start busting through the floor. They climb up. They decided we got to go high because they can come through the floor. So everybody kind of gets up onto some sort of elevated surface, and a couple people die in the meantime. The guy gets sucked through a tire, like I said, and then
you got to get off the ground. You got to get up high, and then he gets on a
tire.
Yeah, no,
that guy. Yeah, he deserved it.
You deserved it.
Yeah, that's dumb. They figure out that these Graboid guys is what they decide to call them eventually. They are attracted to vibrations, or sound, I guess, in the ground. So this pogo stick girl becomes a problem because she's out by herself pogo sticking, and they got to go rescue her. One of the worms starts coming toward Bert and Heather. It crashes through the wall of their little bunker, their little underground bunker, and then they unload about 4,000 rounds into it. And then they finally, of course, Bert has an elephant gun, a literal elephant gun that's like 5 feet long, and he fires 2 rounds into this thing, and it finally puts it down, and they're celebrating that they win.
He breaks out a line that I think is one of my best overacting moments. He's like, "Broke into the wrong goddamn rec room, didn't you, you bastard?" And then
followed it up by
his face is fucking priceless. And I know I'm skipping around, but his face after that scene when he killed the thing is like one of my big pause worthy moments. Like I had to stop it just to watch it over and over and over again. And Reba's just like, she's just happy they're safe, but she just is over there just like nodding in approval, like just nods in approval while he's got this goofy fucking
good job, you got him, honey.
Like, even though it's probably her, she's like, you did it, honey.
Yeah, and then he follows up that line because he's on the radio with the rest of the crew, and he's like, "We killed that mother humper." That's one of the phrases that had to be censored later. "We killed that mother humper," and then Kevin Bacon, Val, is on the other line, and he's like, "Congratulations! Be advised, there are 2 more. Repeat, 2 more mother humpers."
Kevin Bacon's his ass end.
Yeah, his ass end. That's another line that I wrote down in here when he's digging out the big one. Hey, I got the ass end.
Kevin Bacon's accent in this movie is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
So over the top, but it's so good.
Yeah, perfect for the part.
Because Fred Willard
in this part would have been something else.
Fred Ward doesn't really have an accent.
No. I feel like they're all kind of transplants, but I don't know. Especially Reba. Reba's got that deep South accent, which I was going to mention earlier. Do you think they're from Georgia? Because she's got that thick accent. He doesn't really have an accent. Maybe she's from Georgia. He met her in Georgia, then they moved out west. Because he wears an Atlanta Hawks hat for pretty much the whole movie. So I think maybe that was the backstory. Like maybe they're both supposed to be from Georgia. But anyway, so.
Geological isolation.
Yeah, so they kill one of them. I think they've already killed one. I don't remember what happened to that. Oh, they killed the one that slammed into the wall. So that was 2. So now they're down to 2. They got 2 more worms left to kill. And one's like attacking the guys in the town, and they get this big, like heavy equipment. They call it like, what do they call it? A cat, I think. And it's like super heavy, so these worms can't attack it, basically. So they get everybody loaded into this thing, and then they have this big heavy duty, like half a semi-trailer that's been like somehow cut in half. I don't know. So they get everybody in this, and they're trying to just ride this thing out of town, basically. They go pick up Bert and Heather.
At a top speed of 4 miles an hour,
yeah,
by the way.
Bert and Heather have all of their ammunition and everything loaded up in go bags and everything, and they start making pipe bombs.
By the way, I give Bert shit, but he was so smart in this movie because when they were getting ready to train, like to make a run for it,
Yeah.
you know, Melvin's like, "Can I have a gun?" Because he's scared, you know, and he's like, "I want to give you a gun if it was World War III." So like that second World War III mention they make,
Yeah.
and so finally he was like, you know, all scared. He's like, "You won't be scared if, you know, you hit him with one of these," and he gives him a revolver.
Here, take this.
And then he goes to shoot it and it's empty.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, Melvin, you asshole." He's like, "Got you moving, didn't it?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's so smart. Like, it's those little things, you know what I mean? It's those
Yeah.
little things in movies like this that, like, I appreciate.
Doesn't have to know that it's empty until he needs to use it. It's not going to do him any good anyway. So why give him a bullet to
And
accidentally fire at somebody?
another little, like, attention to detail moment, too, is after he's like, "Got you moving, didn't it?" And he still opened it to check and make sure it was unloaded.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's like a standard thing you do regardless of if you know it's loaded or not. You just always check.
Especially a guy that's that big of an expert in that stuff. Of course, he's going to pop it open. And,
yeah. So, like, I can appreciate those fine details.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then, they're on this truck, and then that's when we find out these worms are actually kind of intelligent because they can't really fit. They realize the worms are, like, trying to attack the truck, and they can't get it. The worms kind of give these guys some space as they're hauling ass. Again, hauling ass at, like, 5 miles an hour. And then suddenly this tractor, like, crashes into the earth and gets, like, buried because the worms build a trap. They like softened the earth in front of them so they would fall into this softened earth, and then they like, "Oh, what the hell do we do now?" Then everybody's like stranded on this rock trying to get away from them. Oh, because the Graboids can't go through rock, by the way. I think we established that, but I wanted to mention it anyway. And then it comes down to Val and Earl and Rhonda. They throw the pipe bomb. They start going fishing. They call it fishing. They throw it out like connected to a rope. They pull this thing around so it kind of like so it attracts the thing. The worm grabs this pipe bomb and he like swallows it. The head blows up. They killed the one worm. Yay! They try to do it for the other one, and that one's got smart, got wise to him. Grabs the thing, spits it back at him. Somehow, so this thing knows that this pipe bomb's about to explode.
And also, those fuses were supposed to be set for 15 seconds. There's no way it wouldn't have blown up in the air.
Yeah. But anyway, so this worm's too smart. They got outsmarted. Yeah, so we're down to one worm. Val starts taking off. The other two follow him, running basically toward this big cliff. And then they just kind of stop because they can't go any farther. And he's like, "Well, what the hell do I do now?" He tosses the pipe bomb on like the backside of this worm. And then as it's charging at him, he dives out of the way right at the last second like a matador. And the thing just charges right out of the ground, right off this cliff. And then that's when we get the line that I read at the top. "Can you fly, sucker? Can you fly?"
At the end, you know, they could do a call back to the stampede, like at the beginning.
Yeah.
When he's fucking with him. Originally, they wanted to have 6 Graboids instead of 4.
Oh, yeah.
And then the final 3 would have fallen off the cliff like an actual stampede.
Yeah.
But budget reasons. They just wanted to save some of the budget. But
and I think it's good, too, that it's one. It makes it seem more like a final boss almost.
Yeah.
Because that was like the smartest one, and it was the one that grabbed onto their truck when they ripped off its like little tentacle thing.
Yeah.
And they keep seeing it because they notice that it's got like a missing tentacle.
Yeah.
And they keep calling it like Stubby or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call him. So they keep running into that one. They realize that's the last one, is the one at the end, the one that they keep running into. So I think that was probably a good choice for multiple reasons to leave it to one.
But that's a general rundown.
That's the thing. Oh, and then Val and the girl get together. I don't know how earned that was, but...
Well, I read also that they added it at very, very last minute because a lot of the test audiences kept chanting, like, kiss, kiss.
Oh,
kiss.
yeah,
so they The audiences wanted it, I guess, and that's why they shoehorned it in. But
I didn't remember that. I feel like I would have been satisfied if he had just been like, we should like hang out sometime.
or can I take you to dinner or something?
Or like gotten a number or something. And he just like, he can't say anything to her at the end. She's just like, she's basically begging for it without actually saying anything. And he's just like, all right, see ya. And then she leaves. And he like kind of gets up the gumption and he runs after her. And then he just like plants a kiss on her. He doesn't actually say anything. I would have been satisfied if he would just been like, yeah, we should like hang out sometime.
And it's like, you've known this guy for 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Shared trauma is a pretty powerful thing.
I guess.
Anyway, you didn't have any other beefs?
No.
What about head scratchers, which is a similar category, but this is more like unanswerable questions. Like one I had was, does Bert really seem like an Atlanta Hawks fan?
He doesn't seem like he knows sports.
No, he seems like, my headcanon is that either that was like her hat, because I could see her being like a casual sports fan, or he just like found it somewhere. Like maybe stole it from like a convenience store or something. I don't know.
So I don't have any head scratchers written down, but I'm going to include this. One of my eye roll worthy moments is it's a shitty rundown town called Perfection. Obviously, I understand the irony and I know what they were going for, but man, I still rolled my eyes so hard when I was like, Perfection?
Yeah.
Obviously, this is the complete opposite of perfection.
Uh-huh.
But like, really? Like, really? That's really what we got to do? Like,
and this is basically like Old West, more sci-fi version of Jaws. Like there's a lot of Jaws kind of DNA here. So I feel like maybe that was part of it because the town in Jaws is called Amity, which, as you know, Amity means friendship. So I feel like maybe that was kind of an homage to that. Like that town's called Amity, it's friendship, and it's about, this town that gets attacked by this killer shark. So maybe that was kind of an homage to that, but it is a little on the nose. So here's probably the best category for this movie. Do you have a best one-liner?
Early on in the movie, I think it's the opening scene. Val's like, "I'm a victim." It's when he's explaining that his type of girl that he likes to go for.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm a victim of circumstance," and Earl's just, "I thought you called it your pecker." Just okay.
Yeah. Man. That was the first one I wrote down.
Bert, when they're all on the rock and they're fighting before they figured out the fishing thing. I don't know. Maybe I don't remember exactly what it was, but Bert yells out, "Hungry? Eat this!" and just throws the bomb. It's like, it's so fucking corny.
Yeah. Again, it's like they were trying to get the same kind of energy as "Smile, you son of a bitch." That's the one at the end of Jaws. I feel like it's like similar kind of vibe there. They were just trying to imitate that one, but not quite as good.
I have a couple more. It was when they first discover these things, right? And they're out in the desert, and Earl's like, "Hey, Rhonda, you ever heard of anything like this before?" And Val's just like, "Oh yeah, sure, Earl. Everybody knows about them. We just didn't tell you." Like that's so that's so sarcastic. That's something me or you would say to each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
that's one of the best things about this movie is their dynamic is so good.
Their chemistry is so good in this movie.
It's perfect. Like it's so good. It's like genuinely funny. You're not really laughing. You're not laughing at them. You're laughing with them because they're like genuinely funny with the way they like rib each other.
There's a moment where, it's the scene where he chases them and he like runs into the dam, kills and the thing kills itself. And after that happens, Val's just like, "We killed it. Fuck you." Just the way he says that, it's like fucking perfect.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, most of these cases, it's the perfect amount of overacting. If you went just a half a step too far, it would have been ridiculous. But it's like just enough that it fits well with the character and you're not like rolling your eyes the whole time. They really know how to toe that line.
I have one more real quick. I don't know. I think I laughed the hardest at this one. It's when they discover that they sense the vibrations in the ground, and that's how they're attacking the people.
Yeah.
Okay. And Rhonda's like, of course, it senses seismic vibration. It can hear every move we make, especially on this rock. It's a perfect conductor. And Earl's like, that means we're stuck. That pisses me off. I don't know why that. It's like, no shit. Like, of course it would upset you. Like, he's just like, that pisses me off. Like, because we all need to know. We all need to know that. Like,
there's another one. It's a lot of Earl's just reactions to stuff. Like there's a time where he steps in like a prairie dog hole, and he like freaks out because he thinks like one of them's got him because like his foot goes down. And he's like, "Damn prairie dog burrows! Damn sons of bitches!" He's just like so irrationally angry. But the one I thought was really funny because he's like, "Son of a goddamn bitch!" Pardon my French. Shit.
Fred Ward is so good in this movie, man. Like,
oh my god, yeah, I know. I can't say enough about their
he's
dynamic.
so over the
It's
top.
funny.
He's so over the top in this movie. It's great.
And then the only other one I thought was really funny was when we see the doctor and his wife are out in the desert, and then the doctor gets like sucked into the ground and gets eaten, and then the wife gets back into their station wagon and thinks she's safe, but then the worms start like pulling the car underground, and then she gets killed. But then later, Earl and Val discover it or go to the house, and they're not there. They don't see the car. What the hell's going on? And then they hear the sound. It's the radio from the car, but you don't hear that right away. And they're just like trying to look around what's going on. And then Val's like, "Where the hell's the golden oldies coming from?" Because it's just this like old timey music playing, and then they find the car. I just thought that was funny.
Did we do head scratchers already?
Yeah.
I forgot I have a couple.
Okay. What do you got?
Okay. She gets back in the car and tries to flee, right? And there's no keys.
Yeah.
Why do the lights and radio turn on?
That's a good point. I never thought of that. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. That's it. That's interesting. I never thought of that. Yeah.
That's the whole reason she can't leave is because she doesn't
can't
have the
drive away
keys. Because
she
he
doesn't have
has
a
the
key.
keys in his pocket.
Well, the radio is just like a radio that they have. Because they're like sitting in the back of the station wagon.
Yeah, it's in the car.
I think it's just like a little like portable radio. Well, so that makes sense. But the headlights are on.
The lights being on, I was like, she doesn't have the keys. Why did the lights turn on? I know they're doing it for the visual effect.
Yeah, for the effect of the lights.
But it doesn't make sense.
I never thought of that. She didn't like find them later, right? Like they don't.
No, and that's what I tried to think. I'm like, did she find the keys and she was trying to flee and then the car? But like, no, she just sat there.
No, she just sits there waiting. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one.
And then one more thing I have. There's a scene where they're on the rocks and they realize if they go from rock to rock, they can't get to him. So she comes up with the pole vaulting idea. And it's like, he goes down and tests with like a board to see if he's still there.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to say.
He goes and tests if the thing's still there. And he taps the ground and immediately they come up and like eat the stick or whatever. You mean to tell me these pole vault things they use are just like soundproof?
Silent? Yeah.
Because my first thought is like, there's no way they wouldn't hear that.
Yeah, because they're going like right into the dirt, right? Like they're not pole vaulting off of the rock.
Yeah.
Like their bodies are going rock to
and
rock.
them hitting the rock with the pole would send the vibration to the ground.
Yeah. But like the things know that they're on the rock, so that wouldn't matter. But I think when they go down, you'd think it would come up and grab the pole that they're going on. Yeah. Maybe we're supposed to think that they're going too fast. Because he does kind of go over there a couple of when he's testing it, he is kind of down there a couple of times. Yeah. And then it kind of jumps up.
But I feel like they go three at a time or one at a time. Like
sequentially,
so like eventually at the third person, he's going to figure out and come to it.
They would know, yeah. Especially because we find out that they're pretty smart creatures later on. That's a good one. Never thought of that. Did you have a Stephen Kwan out of left field award?
Honestly, it was just Reba McEntire as a doomsday prepper.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Just totally out of left field for me. I did
married to the hippie dad from Family Ties.
Yeah, I did not expect
with that like curly poof on top of her head too.
Yeah, no, I would not have expected Reba to be a doomsday prepper.
Yeah, I didn't know she was in this movie. First time I watched this, several years ago, I was like, "Oh my god, is that Reba?"
Yeah,
like holy shit, where the hell did she come from?
Well, I know you had told me she was in it, but you didn't tell me what kind of character she played.
Oh yeah.
So when I first watched it, and I'm like, Like, I just figured she would have been like the main, like one of the main characters.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, she kind of is, but like I figured she wouldn't be the doomsday prepper.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like I figured she wouldn't know all this, have this gun knowledge in this movie. Like,
Yeah. She's like starts rattling off these names of all these guns and everything as she's handing them out and everything.
If you want to go for impact, you get this. You want to go for
Yeah.
Like, this is lightweight, and it's like she knew more than her husband almost.
Yeah. Any pause-worthy moments? I think I forgot to mention this one when we were doing notes,
No.
The only one I really had...
No, you did say that. Because remember, I was like, yeah, I had one. When Bert and Heather killed the thing and the look on Bert's face.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. You mentioned that earlier. Yeah. So the only one I had... so weird. You can almost call this the out-of-left-field award, too. There's a moment where I think they might kill one or something good happens where, I don't know, there's some sort of success. I don't remember what happens, but the kid is outside. He somehow gets stranded outside of the convenience store or whatever. And then the dude that gets sucked through the tire, he's kind of out there too. So we get reaction shots of those two because the rest of the group like did something good. They're celebrating and you see the kid. He's like, way to go, dude. And it's like a really over the top celebration. And then we see the other guy and he's just like, all right. And he's got this, obviously the listeners out there can't see me, but he's got this weird like circular arm wiggle gyration thing that he does to celebrate. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell was that?
And Rhonda was even like, you did it. Like,
Yeah,
it was all so goofy, man. Like,
Yeah, it was weird. Like, they had to be like the 10th take on all of them. They're like, can we get some reaction shots of everybody? And they're like, but they weren't actually reacting to the scene live. They're just like, give me your best, like, Yahoo, good job reaction. Nope, not big enough. That was a 7. I need like an 11.5. Give it to me. All right. Oh, God. So I forgot to mention this because I wrote it down. I didn't put it in my computer says. Because the computer didn't really tell me. I saw it in the credits. In the closing credits, you see, among the ones listed, special thanks to Kira Sedgwick and Travis Bacon. She and Kevin Bacon are married. Travis Bacon is their first kid.
Oh.
He was born, I think, during the production of this movie.
Well,
so
cool.
they throw like the special thanks in there. Because I looked it up. He was born in June of 1989, and they filmed, or it was released in January of 1990, so I assume they filmed, and I think the filming all took place in 89, so I assume it was probably summertime. So I imagine he was either just born or was like born during filming. I thought that was kind of cool.
I forgot to mention this in my general notes, but in the opening scene when they're still being handymen, Val really doesn't know how to use a hammer very well. Because when they're doing the barbed wire up, he's like trying. He like misses the fucking staple.
Oh, really?
Like the
I didn't even.
He
notice
misses
that.
the bracket thing like 7 times before he finally hits it, and then he hits it, and he only hits it like halfway down, and then they just like walk away. And I guess I could also consider that a pause-worthy moment because I kept rewinding it because I wanted to see Fred Ward's reaction, and I think he had a genuine reaction like, "What the fuck? Are you? Can you really not hit that?"
Probably.
This is a really subtle detail, and I don't know if you did, but I had a good laugh at it. They do like an establishing shot of like the town or whatever, and they do a shot over the general store, and there's a sign out front that says "Best beer in town."
Yeah.
Well, I would hope so,
That's
considering
good.
you're the only store in
only
town.
place,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, only place.
Yeah.
I just that little subtlety is like perfect to me.
That's a good one. What do you think of like the effects of the actual worms themselves? Like the look of them and when they actually come out of the ground.
I didn't really like that their tongues had horns. Like you
I thought
mentioned,
that was kind of weird.
but
especially because they kind of have the similar horns on their heads.
But I did like when they discovered it, like when the first one died, Rhonda is like looking through it and she starts messing with like the spike fin thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, she's like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. This helps it move through the ground because the ground's so dense and helps. Like, for something so goofy and dumb as a graboid, like they put a lot of detail into being able to explain how it does what it does, you know?
Yeah, because it could have just been like a big worm. They could have just not thought about any of that. It just, but like, because it's a creature that they're inventing. You don't have to have the detail. It's not like you're doing a big, like a shark or something. Like if we're doing Jaws, like that's got to be accurate, or at least, accurate enough that people aren't questioning it. But with that, it's like you're making it up from scratch. Like nobody's going to question if it's just a giant worm in the ground. But yeah, they made sure it's like, oh, here's the little like thorns basically on its side. And I think the look of it's like pretty decent. Again, they probably learned from Jaws where they don't show it very much, because if you don't show it very much, you don't see the flaws in it. So the only ones you really see, like the full body of it, is the one they dig up that's dead already. So it's just kind of laying there. And the rest of them, you only really see it like briefly. You see it kind of go by. You see it from underground where it's just the dirt going over, or you see like the tongues kind of coming up and grabbing stuff. So you never really see like a big shot of it for like an extended period of time. So you kind of can focus on, well, this looks like a big latex, hunk of whatever.
Yeah. They toyed with the idea of having the Graboids have like a hard outer shell for when they would burst out of the ground. The shell helps protect them underground, and I don't know, like when they come above ground, the shell like retracts to like a slimy version of them.
Oh,
and it looked just too penisy. So they're like, yeah, we're gonna scrap this and go with a different idea.
That's funny. They did a pretty good job of not showing. There's like a couple scenes where it's like, you can tell it's just like an animatronic, like shitty kind of sticky animatronics.
Yeah.
Like when the Walter, when the worm comes up through the floor and grabs him, and he's just kind of like getting tossed like side to side. It's like, one looks a little rough.
Yeah.
It's just like a big arm with a worm attached to it. But again, a $6 million budget in 1990. Yeah. Anyway, this movie's a lot better than I remember. Again, probably going to be the best movie we ever do on this show. Any closing thoughts?
No, it was, no.
Okay. All right, well, that's it. That's Tremors. All right, that's the show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as Bert and Heather love their guns, and you can pay that love forward by sharing this podcast with your friends, your family, worm fans,
Doomsday
Preppers, Desert Handymen. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts, so don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. You can give us a rating, leave us a review, drop a comment on the episode. You can comment on Spotify. That's kind of nice. Let us know what we got wrong, or if we nailed it completely, didn't mess anything up. That's probably what happened. But the best way to share really is to just tell somebody you know. You can like us on Facebook, follow us at CCWisePod. On all those social media platforms, you can follow me on just about everything. At Tyler_W. Where can everybody find you out there?
You can find me on Twitter at BWise23, Instagram at NotTheFakeBW. I'm also on TikTok at NotTheFakeBrandonWise. So go ahead and join us in a couple weeks for a new episode of Counterclockwise.
And stay Brolden, mother humpers.
I do have some computer says parts. I was just saying those were nice. What I was.
Yep.
Jeez.
Words.